Hey guys, I'm Ishan. Welcome to For Those Who Code. In this video, we'll be learning about doing form validation in React with React Hook Form. React Hook Form is an extremely simple way to handle forms in React. In the right, we have documentation of React Hook Form, and on the left, I have created my React project and added some markup with Bootstrap framework. I will divide this video into three parts. Firstly, we will learn about basic form validation. Second, we will learn about custom validation. And third, we will learn about matching fields inside our form. So let's get started. So taking a look at the documentation of React Hook Form, it's really a good documentation right here. And we also have like performance comparison of the library itself, and then a comparison between React Hook Form, Redux Form, and then Formic, and a lot of advantages, which also includes reduced rendering and a faster mounting. So we also have a live demo where we can generate fields over here as well. So let's go ahead without any delay. Let's go ahead, and I've already installed React Hook Form inside my project. So I would like to import use form from React Hook Form. So before starting any code, I would like to focus on this particular line over here. One of the key concepts in React Hook Form is to register your uncontrolled component into hook. This will make its value available for both validation and submission. Each field is required to have a unique name as a key for the registration process. So as it says that we need to have a register to hook up our input field values. So we will write some refs which helps us to get our values from the input. Required would be true. Okay, so like this particular ref, I would like to hook up with all the input fields that we have and require it as marked true, and then to our option, select option as well, and obviously to our radio buttons as well. So I think, yeah, it's good to go. Now let's move ahead and create a constant where we can import or use register from use form. All right. So I think, yeah. So now what we can see in the console is missing name. So a unique name as a key for the registration process. So we'll write a unique name for each of our input as it serves as a key for us, which helps in the validation process. First name, and then the secondly we have last name, and the third we have designation, and here we have here is email, and then here is designation, and then we already have name over here as well. So I think we are good to go. So now we'll take a look. Now next step would be creating an on-submit handler where we can use the hooked values and print it out in the console. So for that we will also print out some errors from our use form. So right underneath here we'll print out if there are any errors in the form. First name, and then create a span tag where we can write something like this is mandatory field. Alright, now copy this one and then paste over here and write last name as we have hooked up with the name as a key. So we'll pass down ears dot last name and the message. So we have ears dot email and then ears dot designation right here. And lastly, we have errors for our input refs right here. Errors dot active and then errors dot active. Alright, so now we're good with errors as well. So now let's go ahead and write some of our onSubmit handle function. So before that, we will just use handle submit from use form and then create a constant where we will define onSubmit function, which takes value as a parameter. We'll use flat arrow and then console the values that user have entered. Alright, okay, so so in form onSubmit, and we write something like onSubmit and then use this particular handle submit right here. This particular handle submit right here, and then pass down onSubmit. Alright, so I think we're ready to go with our basic validation. So this is our mandatory field. Okay, and then I think it's good to have a specific class name for each of our errors, so that we can have red coloring for our ears as well. So class name would be error. Okay, class name, oops, and should be capital, because classes are already defined keyword, so maybe we'll add some and to it and save it, and then yeah. So I think we are done with our basic validation. So let's test this out, and then front-end dev, yes, submit, yep. So yeah, we have our values printed right in the console, and we have done our basic validation with form React hooks. Hi guys, let's move ahead and do some custom validation to our forms. Now I have made some small changes in my markup, and you can find the code in my GitHub repository. I will link it below in the video. So for our custom validation, we'll add some custom validation to our fields like name, age, email, years of experience, and is active, which is options. So for our first name, we will add some validation, like the name should be maximum length of 6 characters, and the age should be between 18 to 99, which not exceeding 99, not less than 18. And the email would be validated to regex, and then the email field must be an email field, and years of experience would be validated to asynchronous function, which we will create, and the years of experience must be greater than 5, and then easy active is required. So let's move ahead and do the custom validation to our forms. So before applying our custom validation inside our forms, I would like to focus on apply validation section on the React hook form. So inside here, what we can see is React hook forms make validation easy through HTML standard of form validation. So the rules of validation supported are listed here. So we'll apply all these rules to our validation and validate our forms right here. So let's go ahead and do our first validation, which is maximum length of 6 characters to our first name. So it's really dead simple, so that we can just write max length of 6, and the work is done. So as we can see that it doesn't it requires with the 6 maximum. Okay, so we have completed our validation for first name. So now let's move on to validation for our age. So as we have talked, like the age should be between 18 to 99. So we already have the validation rule of minimum and maximum. So we will use that two validation rules so that we can validate our age. So for our age, we are required true, and then we'll add minimum of 18 and then maximum of 99. Minimum of 18 and maximum of 99. So I think this would work as well. So to attain, yeah, this works. So it's that simple to add these kind of validation. So now let's move ahead and add some pattern to our email. We'll add some regex pattern, these patterns. So must be with an email address. So if we write here and this gets validated. Okay, cool. It's so easy with React form hooks. Now let's move ahead and do our asynchronous validation for our years of experience right here. So as we have talked and discussed, we talked about having our custom validation so that users won't be able to enter years of experience which is less than 5. So for this we'll add asynchronous validation right here, required register true, and then validate selected designation, or we can say years of experience as well. For now, let's skip it designation, and then we will is not defined. So we'll create a function where we'll assign it to a constant selected designation, which will be an synchronous function which takes value as its parameter, and then wait for the value. Return true if value is less than greater than 5, or else we will return false. Alright, I think we are good to go right now. Basic validation.js, unsplit token expected comma. Alright, so what we have missed out is okay, I think we should rather not await this one, but create time lag. Where we'll pass on millisecond as its parameter, and then create a new promise which resolves with set timeout function, and pass on resolve and millisecond to it. Okay, now let's write await time lag of 2 seconds, and then write if value is alright. Value sync value. Okay, so yeah, I forgot fat arrow over here. So yeah, now it should work. So select designation should be greater than 5. Okay. This is not enough. Yeah. So after selecting 6, this particular the error goes away. This is not enough, and after selecting 6, it goes away. So we have also added our asynchronous validation to our years of experience as well. So now let's take asynchronous on submit click event, so that we can write some ruling over here, and then set time out function where we will control the player with the callback of one and a half seconds. Okay, so now I think loading. Okay, this should be in the string. So yeah, I think we are good to go. Yeah, Sean should be more than 18, and this should be more than 5 years of experience, and this is required. Alright, console was cleared. So I think we did some of the basic form validation. So now we will move towards our next step of doing our form validation. It's a field comparison. So we'll have two fields, or one field and the other field, and we will have our validation whether this field the value of this particular password field is equal to the value of the third password field. So let's go ahead and do our validation for these fields. I have made my changes in the markup as well, so you can find in the GitHub linked below in the video. So again, we will like to import use form from React hook form. And then the next step would be creating the refs, for the password. Right here we'll add a ref where we can write register and pass down required required is required. Okay, now we'll add this particular refs in this particular input field as well. Alright, okay, so now register is not defined. Okay, so let's import register from use form. Use form. All right. Now I think we are hooked up with the register and add a password combination. Yeah, the name which serves as a key is also added, name and then a password confirmation. So we have our refs and then the name. What we would like to do is right here we would like to add a comma and add a validate, validate. Okay, validate, and then which should be matches of previous password, which takes val, and then you'll get the previous password, which is right here, main pwd, and then get values. So with where we can get values. So we have not imported get values, so let's import get values from use form as well. And then now what we have to do is return the error pwd, which is strictly equals to val, and then password should match. Okay, so I think we are ready to create our onSubmit handler now. Let's test out with onSubmit, and then do submit, and which onSubmit as parameter, and then that's it. Let's write and submit here as well. And of course we forgot to add errors as well. And then for the errors, we can write errors right underneath the input field, like errors viewers.pwd, which is the value of name right here, and our span tag, and then we write password is required, okay, and add a class name of viewer to this one. Okay, now let's add keywords. On submit is not defined. On submit. Okay, we have not created on submit function yet, so we'll add that. Before that, we will just use our viewers right here, and then viewers.pwd confirmation password must match. All right. Okay, so now let's go ahead and write our on submit handler, where we take data as a parameter and write our flat arrow function over here, and console log the data we passed as a parameter. So I think everything looks okay right now. Now let's type on something. Password must match and then all right, now this is perfectly working now. So we have also implemented our field comparison validation. So I think you have learned a lot with these videos. I would like to hear from you guys. What do you think? And I'll be back with more videos like this. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and see you guys again.